Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This video, the audio is kind of messed up. It has a lot of it kind of not peaks, but it gets loud in like a scratchy way. And it does that throughout the whole video, only when I get loud, like when I talk loud. And also, I didn't have my streamer mode activated on my Discord, so you can hear the notifications sometimes in the background, and I sincerely apologize for that. But I still hope you guys are able to enjoy the video still. Thank you for watching. I'm honored for your view. Okay, see you. Hello, YouTube. You're watching Ooh La La. And today we're going to be playing a game called Still Water. Now, I know it's a little eerie right now because it's like super quiet and there's no music and he looks distraught. Okay, let's just play it, I guess. Okay. Oh, now there's now there's music. Okay, Still Water. This is a work of fiction. The resemblance to any real life people is purely coincidental. This game contains a depiction of horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. I really wish I could get rid of this lisp and this. I gotta get these wisdom teeth out. They're hurting me. I'm biting my cheeks. I'm destroying my mouth. Caretaker. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Calm down. If we can just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening one after another. Every day, there's this dang dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but I check every faucet, every ceiling, everything, and still I hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Please, listen to me. Oh, but the water. That dang water! Water? Yes, it's everywhere. Pools of it are all over the house, and every time I try to mop it all up, another one will appear. There's no end to it. But it's at night. It's at night when it comes. What are you talking about? I hear someone or something walking along the hallways at night. Maybe it's just my grandfather. No, Nina! It's not him! I thought it was, but it's not. But I've seen it! That thing! Uh, Only glimpsed at it once, but I'm more than certain that thing was not your grandfather. Ever since that night, I would lock my door and pray it would walk past my room. I don't know what's going on, but I swear it just keeps walking. Always walking on pools of water. Sometimes I hear them randomly. Their steps are erratic and faint, but I can still hear them. Just a steady pace up and down the halls. But I think recently, it's no longer like that. What do you mean? Every morning, I follow to see where the wet footprints lead. It walks towards something more clearly than before. It would walk down the halls, climb the stairs, and turn corners. All of it I'd follow. Eventually, the trail would come to a stop, and it would all stop right before your grandfather's room. His room? Is this some kind of sick joke to scare me away? Then please stop. It's not a joke, Nina. I meant when I said that there's something wicked going on in this house. That can't be true. I know this is a lot, but you have to believe me. I can't stay here. What? I can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. Ugh, it's okay. I understand. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather up until now. And I'm sorry for all the stress I've caused you. I'll be sure to pay you right away as soon as I. Nina, listen to me. I don't know what's happening around here, but. The woman on the phone cautiously looks around, turning her head constantly back and forth, looking over her shoulder to find, if any, others listening in. She grips the phone so close to her ear in a vice like grip before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking in this house. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. Huh? Leave? I can't just leave everything behind. We have nowhere else to go. Please, Nina, this is not safe. The rumors, they're true. The curse is real. My family is not cursed. But Nina, at this rate, you and your family will... Enough! A pause. Cold and sharp tentness... What? Cold and sharp tenseness strains the call as both women, exhausted and stressed beyond their comfort, try to stifle their growing frustrations towards one another. Neither yielding to the other's thoughts, only leaving anger and hurt fester through the silence. After what feels like a suffocating stillness, Nina finally sighs heavily and responds bluntly to the caretaker. Dang, bluntly? Look, I don't know what you heard or saw, but I can't just leave things like this. Whoever or whatever they are, whoever or whatever they are, they will answer to me. I won't let them have their way. I don't have time to waste my energy on this stupid curse. So if you can't help me, then so be it. I'll find a way. Nina, my grandfather is all I have left. He's all I have left. Oh no, whoa! What's going on in the back? Diner, 7 a.m. Amid a foggy morning, there sits a man by the corner of a what? A booth. He drinks black coffee and, depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today, it was just black coffee. Ugh. I swear I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. A freaking mountain worth of it. You're a valuable member of our team, Hugo. My foot. I'm starting to believe that I was bamboozled into joining their agency. Ugh. Hugo Laurent, age 30, takes a good look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting, and then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. There is something inherently terrifying about the fog to him, how it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining. Even in a quaint little town like this, I can't even run from my fate, I guess. Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. Some of them from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing person cases. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just as hard to look at. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all of this. First of all, let's take a second to look at Hugo. Hugo kind of, I don't know what he got going on with this like little micro bang he got. Like if he had like a little, I feel like he looked good with like a little slick back type beat. He kind of looked like Lloyd from Spy X Family, so like he could really, you know what I'm saying? An all too personal reason. Seeing strange things comes with a price. Oh, is he like a medium or something? And then I'm the one doing this to myself. Sounds rough. Mind if I join, Kuya? An annoyingly what? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Whoa, I did not expect this at all. I thought it was a woman. How should he sound? Hey, good morning, Hugo. Hugo scowls and turns away from him. He then gathers the files and shoves it back into the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes... Dang, you calling Hugo short? He is kind of tall, though, I'm not going to lie. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the booth. He greets the waitress passing by and orders himself the Hefty Body Breakfast Special with an extra plate. That was a lot. Hefty Body Breakfast Special. Wow, if I didn't have this list going on, I probably could say that 10 times fast. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay his order. The man then looks back at Hugo. He sees the empty cup and the now jumbled newspaper clippings. All the while, Hugo is trying to ignore him. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in the mood, okay? Not even a little? Ugh. There's a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two? Oh, nah, they in the UK. They gotta be. Actually, no, this too much seasoning for the UK. As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. Why the heck did you order for the two of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Huh? What is this? Okay, hold on, y'all. They teaching us something here. Wow. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to say it wrong. Mukang I'm sorry. Wait. Masarap. Right, Hugo? Are you even listening to me? Come on. We both know. I'm sorry. The Mukang Masarap. We both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when you will, and I'm not about to let you faint again. Again? So open wide. Noah D. Lone. Huh? Noah D. Leon. Age 27. Yep. A natural born charmer. Is also the only person in the world who lovingly threatens him to eat every day. Wow. We all need that person that's gonna take care of us. Not take care of us, but make sure we doing what we need to do. That's a real friend. That's a family. With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the generous spoonful without further complaints. Of what? Beans? What even is this? Like mini beignets? Hmm, it's good. Right? Good food will always help cheer you up. Dang him. Got swept away again. Oh, by the way, the chief will be out. Oh, okay, so this is someone he works with. The chief will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it will be for a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think? Yesterday? She told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. She didn't mention anything about a business trip. Guess it was a pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. And lucky me, I know where you go every morning. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. Well, what do you want to do? We technically have the day off. I'm going to head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest for the day and pass up this opportunity to get to know you better? Kuya. Quit it. After they're enlightened. Why do you say that? Kuya. Is he like Filipino or something like that? I don't know what this language is. But that's cute. Kuya. I'm gonna start saying that. After their enlightening banter, the two of them finish their breakfast, pay for their meals, and head to Hugo's car. As Noah opens the doors of the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. Oh! I was about to say what? The big dog. The big dog. Oh, can I not? I don't know how to say this word. Apparently, the big dog stirs at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. Oh, I'm sorry, big guy. He then closes the door while trying not to make too much noise to disturb its occupant, Colby. At the sound, that was a little creepy. At the sound of his, at the sound of his name, he the. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! At the sound of his name, this is really bad. Cause I told you I got these wisdom teeth that need to get taken out, and they're making my mouth swell up, and I have a lisp, and I'm biting my cheeks and all kinds of stuff. So I'm trying to avoid doing that while talking, and that's why I'm struggling. At the sound of his voice, with heavy lidded eyes, slowly his heavy stop. His heavy lidded eyes slowly peek to see who calls for him. It is his one and only partner, his human. What? As if finally realizing who he is or where he is, the old bloodhound stirs up from his sleep, pouncing at Hugo and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Woof! Um, Good morning again, Colby. Have a nice nap. Colby, 8 years old, Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime, has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Noah, who was witnessing all of this from the back seat, chuckles to himself. He's amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. That's crazy. It doesn't matter how many times I try. When it comes to boosting up his mood, no one can beat Kobe. Agency, 7:50 a.m. Okay, so 50 minutes have passed. The three head back. What? The three head back to the office. The space is just the same as Hugo left it. A decent, organized mess. To his credit, for the amount of boxes he painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. Albeit it could have been better. Well, you really outdid yourself, Hugo. It looks less crowded. Oh, shut it, will you? I said I was gonna get to it. Oh, nah. Thanks, boy. That's probably not how he said that. Before Hugo could continue to give the deserved head pats, he notices someone. A woman says, timidly peering outside from the storefront. She looks a bit frantic and even more restless with her disheveled and ill fitted clothes, drawing emphasis to her already too visible petite frame. The woman tries to grasp the door handle several times but stops before she could touch it. I thought she was jiggling it. Her brows furrow, agitated and distressed about something. Too much to the point it is preventing her from just simply reaching out for help. However, when she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. I'm so sorry. I know that the close sign is up, but I saw you come in and I. Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, he. This don't look like the woman that was on the phone. Before she could continue explaining, Noah swiftly cuts in front of Hugo and intervenes. In all too practiced man. What? In all too practiced manner. It's okay, miss. We'll hear what you have to say. So please, why don't you sit right over here? Noah gestures to one of the empty seats at the other side of the office. The poor woman hesitates for a moment. She clutches desperately to the strap of her purse, her eyes focusing apprehensively on them and at the gestured seat. After mulling over Noah's offer, she quickly glances back and nods. The woman then walks towards the corner of the room and sits at the edge of the sofa. Her posture is weary and tense, giving no sign of comfort for even this brief moment of peace. You know what? The art style in this game is really nice. Um, but a lot of the stuff is like being explained when it could have just been like drawn. Like, I don't want to read all this. And I know sometimes people prefer to they have their own way they like to tell a story and whatnot, which is totally fine. But I just for the person playing it's a little more interactive when I can see them actually doing the things instead of imagining it, because if you're playing a visual novel, aren't you supposed to see what's going on? Like, that's the whole point. But anyway, her posture is wary and tense, giving no sign of comfort for even this brief moment of peace. Can you start off by telling us your name? I apologize for earlier. I'm usually a bit more composed than this, but I guess I'm failing at that too. My name is Nina Mortimer. Ah, hello, Miss Nina. My name is Noah De Leon. I'm one of the assistants here. That big guy next to you is our other lovely assistant, Colby. And the one brooding over here is private investigator Hugo Laurent. I'm not brooding, I'm just tired. And our chief is away on business, but I think we can still accommodate you. So, how can we help, Miss Nina? Just for a moment, Nina appeared a bit more lax, more hopeful, even maybe even relieved from this warm welcome. However, she once again tenses up. The guilt and shame come running. Whoa! the, the guilt and shame come rushing back to her, visible by the creases of her brow, as she once again realizes why she is here. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Tonight? Yes, I know this is a strange request, but my hands are tied on this. It has to be tonight. I'm sorry, Miss Nina, but I don't quite understand. Is your grandfather in any danger? Uh, I think someone is trying to take him away. Huh? Take him? Miss Nina, I think you should contact the police right away. They're far more equipped at handling this kind of situation. No, they're not! I've tried requesting their help, but they've given me the same answer verbatim for weeks now. They would send someone out to watch over the manor for the entire day. But by the end of their routine, they would always report back nothing unusual. They saw no one else leaving or arriving at the house other than me or the caretaker. And despite telling them all in detail about the letters and all the strange things that have been happening. Sorry, I read that wrong. There's nothing they could do about it, but just sit around until it escalates even more. I can't wait any longer! Any more than this! It will all be too late! If only I knew who Louis was. Louis? She lets out a gasp. Her hand shot over to cover her mouth, realizing she had said too much so carelessly. That's what they need to know. You try to get help? She tries to avert their gaze, but Hugo stares persistently at her. Miss Nina, who is Lewis? Are they the ones causing all of this? Once more, she contemplates, her brows knit closely together as she bites her lips nervously. It's as if the words she wanted to say have suddenly died out, too heavy to even utter. A mistake she can't take back. Before the silence stretches further, Noah speaks to Nina with a gentle and reassuring tone. Miss Nina, I know it's scary. All of the things you've mentioned to us so far, no one should ever have to experience, especially by themselves. And I assure you, we'll listen to all of it. I promise. Wild and manic eyes search deeply at them, trying desperately to discern any doubt or mistrust on their faces. However, all she sees are people who are willing to give their time to simply listen to her, to actually help her. From this alone, Nina looks to the side where her purse is and opens it. Tucked inside one of the pockets, she takes out a single slightly crumpled envelope with a pigmented red wax seal pressed in the middle. At a glance, Hugo can tell right away that this letter appears to be a bit more worn out and antique, and yet, despite its delicate form, it remains well preserved, well kept. As if it's as if the letter itself was untouched by time, forever waiting to be opened. Grandfather has been receiving cryptic letters for the past month now. The letters didn't come with an address or the name of the sender. But this one is different from the rest. This had the name Lewis on it. Why didn't they just show this in the first place? As she hands over the like what? As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her yo, I gotta go back to school. Hugo notices her hand slightly shaking. Ina is still avoiding his gaze, but he knows she is trying in earnest. But before he, what the, I don't like that. But before he could reach out his hand, he senses it. A faint shift in the room, unnoticeable to the others, but all too glaringly clear to him. There's something very wrong with this letter. Suddenly, Hugo recoils his hand away in pain. Dang. Like being struck with something sharp, so spontaneously, so memorable, that even if the pain disappears within seconds, a hint of it remains, like when you burn yourself. Something so small akin to a prick from a rose's thorn, or more like a paper cut. Oh, you're all right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. No, I'm fine, Mrs. Mortimer. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Hugo stares squarely at the cut. A thin red line starts to form slowly by the top of his index finger, trailing down and stopping just above the first crease. A red so clearly visible, it's taunting. That doesn't look like a normal paper cut to me. Let me get you a band aid. It's fine, Noah. I don't need one. But really, it's fine. It doesn't even hurt that much. Noah takes one good look at him before sighing. Oh my gosh. X is. Okay, y'all. Time for school. Sound it out. Exasperately. Exasperatedly? And sitting, and sitting back down in his chair, still eyeing on Hugo's hand. Hugo shrugs and returns his attention back to the letter. But this time, luckily, nothing happens. For it to reach all the way out here with just the letter alone is truly terrifying. Carefully, he removes the content of the envelope and unfolds it. At first, it looks like any other normal written message. A person named Lewis is asking the other is asking the other Henry to come meet him by the lake at midnight, needing to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this is not the letter itself. Appearing at the bottom of the page, a message scrawled, unlike the rest, stands visibly out to Hugo. A message that shouldn't be there. Remember our promise, Henry. When did you receive this letter? Yesterday. And your grandfather? Where is he right now? He's currently back at the house with the caretaker. I promised him I wouldn't be out for too long. I made an agreement with them, you see. Oh, what sort of agreement? The caretaker we have now agreed to watch over my grandfather, but only during the day. Before nightfall, they would leave exactly at the same time. Before nightfall? Uh, I wanted to believe that this whole thing was an elaborate scheme to scare my family away. I know this sounds crazy, but at one point I thought everyone was in on it. The mail carriers, the officers, the caretakers, Everyone had a hand at making our family suffer. But this one was different. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone by that name. Not a relative or family friend. But they clearly know who grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose. Just by uttering the words alone, Nina begins to break down. The stress, the anxiety, the fatigue, all of it was finally catching up to her. Her body hunches forward, her hands pressed close to her eyes as she tries to cover the stream of tears running down her face. What the freak was that? As an act of comfort, Kobe sits closer to Nina while Noah fetches tissues for her. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. She said this whole thing has been going on for the past month, but something doesn't add up. And before nightfall, I think there is more to this than she's not admitting. Whatever happened with the letter, I'm more than certain. Certain that whoever or whatever Lewis is, they're coming for blood. Why would I reject the case? We taking the case. What the? Do you want more? Do you want more? I don't. Wow, what did he sound like? Do you want more tissues? We'll do it. We'll take on your case. For a moment, everything goes still. Her eyes and attention are solely directed at Hugo, whose eyes have a certain glint to them, now unwavering and more determined than ever. Before anyone else speaks, Nina stands up, wipes away any stray tears from her face, and walks up to him. You'll take it? Hugo simply nods. Thank you! Thank you! You don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help, Miss Nina. Just call me Nina. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina smiles at Hugo and Noah in gratitude, her eyes renewed with a faint gleam, a hope that maybe things will change for her and her family for the better. However, before heading out, Nina reaches into her bag once more. She takes out a small piece of paper and a pen and hastily starts jotting down something. I best be on my way now. I'll let grandfather know ahead of time you'll be coming. Also, this is my address. I'll be sure to greet you all when you arrive. And thank you again. Truly. She politely bows to them and walks out of the office, already reaching to her purse for her car keys. Hugo watches from his desk as she goes to open the driver's seat. Nina looks back at the office window and takes one last look at Hugo. She waves slightly at him before finally pulling out of the parking lot and driving off. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his cluttered desk. Still messy, but presentable. I guess I'll have to sort these out later. Again. Car, 5:30 p.m. Dang. From the ongoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit in silence. This is perfect sleeping, what's it called? Ambience. Rain and hum of car, deadly combo. Still miles off their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rear view mirror to see any passing cars. But it was only them on the road. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, leans quietly against the car door as he looks out to the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. He hasn't said a word to Hugo since they left the house. I mean, the office. What? Hey, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's wrong? Huh, what a surprise. Have you been looking at me, Kuya? No, you idiot. You usually just talk a lot, that's all. So, do you miss me talking? Just say it. Do you believe her story? What? Given all the things she's told us, do you think she's telling the truth? Yes, I believe her. Or at least, I believe she hadn't lied to us. But I can't shake this feeling that she is hiding something. Like if she left out certain details on purpose. Also, why does she have to travel this far out of town for a private eye? Surely there must have been another far closer to her home than ours. I just don't know how to explain it. As expected of you, Hugo. Are you making fun of me? No, not at all. I'm just admiring your observations. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she finished. But her last name caught me off guard. Huh? Have you heard about the Mermaids? They're a pretty distinguished family that owned an esteemed fishing company. Well, they used to, I believe. They have yet to name an heir.
What do you mean? Shouldn't it naturally go to Nina? It should, but I don't know. From what I heard, each time they try to name a successor, that relative mysteriously disappears. Huh? Gone without a trace, or so anyone thought. Their bodies would soon turn up months after. And you know what's strange? All of them has been labeled. All of them has been labeled as accidents by local news. No foul play, just another unfortunate loss for the family. They've been struck with so many tragedies that over time, people began to believe they were cursed or something. Cursed. I think I can understand why she wouldn't go to the police again. They most likely thought she was seeing things and went along with the procedures just to keep faith. But deep down, I must have thought she had gone mad. Hmm. I can imagine all of this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what we'll find there? Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about you, though. Me? Why? Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. I thought he was the driver. He's on the driver's seat side. When you decide to do some pretty reckless when you decide to do some pretty reckless stuff, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, two is better than one. Exactly. I was fine with Colby coming with me. Well, have you heard that three is better than two? Ugh. He's funny. Mortimer Estate, 6 p.m. It's lit. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate can finally be seen beyond the evergreen. Nestled away from prying eyes, it stands tall, magnificent, and classic. Truly a rarity only afforded to the privileged, and yet, with all its opulence, it looms from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor. Its grand stature topples easily over the dozens of houses they drove past. Wow, look at the size of it. I could never. Oh, he's saying that. I could never imagine seeing a house like this in person. It's almost too surreal. Hmm. Come on, she's waiting for us. Ooh! Immediately after. Hold on. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighs heavy on Hugo's chest. Grasping tightly at his coat, he begins to gasp for air. His vision hazes as he leans close to the car, trying desperately to ground himself. Like a fish drawn out of the Like a fish drawn out of the sea, he desperately heaves. The air in his lungs escaping too quickly burns as he feels his throat begin to strain, drawing tighter the more he breathes. But this pain pales in comparison to a feeling far more excruciating. Is it the house? No, something far more sinister. He feels it. Someone is watching him, a piercing gaze fixed on him, like leering at a bug and waiting to strike. We'll be together soon, Henry. What the heck? Dang it already! I need to hurry or else. Hey, are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated trance. Kobe nudges his head against Hugo. Yo, what dog sounds like that? I don't got no dog, so I don't know. Kobe nudges his head against Hugo, whining with concern over his partner's well being. Did, did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice. It was so close to my ear. Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. I'm just a bit winded out from the trip, that's all. I'd be happy to make you tea at the very least. If it's no trouble. No, not at all. It's the least I can do. Once again, this subtle uneasiness from Nina surfaces. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into it, she walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sounded like you were choking earlier. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're already here. We can't back out now. Listen to me. I think you should. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by the front door. She stands by the door silently, contemplating something. It's just like before, but this time she seems even more anxious. Whatever unease she tried to mask earlier became more apparent the minute they walked closer to the front door. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective. Huh? Just like before, as if carefully choosing her next words, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You'll see for yourself what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo's about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceed to head in, not knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Why the dog there? Greeted with a. I mean, like, why is the dog there? Like, for real. Does the dog do anything? Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes immediately that the interior is just as grand. Adorned with floral accents and antique furnishings, the house itself exudes the word hello elegance, a classic and rustic charm with the walls and floorings made from the finest wood. What's the finest wood? Like what? Hugo couldn't help but gape when he walked in. However, he notices something even more distinct than the splendor. Behind the seemingly perfect veneer, an unsettling air wreathes throughout the house, leaving no room for doubt that the inside is far more terrifying than the outside. Please come this way. Bracing themselves, they entered the dimly lit drawing room. At first glance, Hugo could not discern a silhouette situated at the far corner. Only the sparse lighting from the window pierces through a fraction of the room's darkness. However, as they approach closer to the silhouette, Hugo now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling vagueness. Grandfather, we have guests. Please don't. Grandfather? That's fine shit. What? I'm sorry. Sitting on the sitting. Why? But hold on, wait a minute, because this is possessed. This possession. What's going on? Sitting on the armchair is a very young man, not much older than Hugo or Noah. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, maybe he's been possessed for so long, like he's just been stuck like this. Like he's still young. He still got it like that. Hey. He's dressed modestly and shares none of the imposing presence of the manor. Okay, he said he was about to go golfing. He looked like he was in school or something. I don't know. No, rather, such luxury does not even remotely reflect on the man before them at all. It's as if the flow of time had stopped only for him while the rest had continued changing drastically without him. Just like the letter, timeless, delicate, and jarringly out of place. Staring only out the window, the young man sits there dazed with little acknowledgement of the people around him. Still, motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Colby and Noah. They're going to help us. Oh, he's Henry. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than any of them, and yet here he remains, forever unchanging. Forever young! They've come a long way, so I'll be making some tea. Would you also like some, Grandpa? He does not reply back, nor does he glance at Nina or anything else in the room, or anyone else in the room. Only fixated, only fixate his gaze on the rain, nothing else. Hmm. I'll be sure to make a cup for you too. She then timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Bearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There's an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be longing for, he will knows it will never end well. You know, that man. Yes, he's my grandfather, the one I asked you all to watch over. Know this is hard to believe, but Nina draws something out from her pocket. Dang, okay, hold on. Let's see it, let's see it. Hey, whoa, whoa. It's an old picture of a handsome man with slicked back hair wearing the finest of suits. Don't get it wrong. The gentleman in the picture has a different air to him, one of wealth and power, period. None of which reflects at all on the current Henry Mortimer. It's almost as if looking at two different people. This isn't much to go by, but believe me, they are the same person. Why does he look so young? It happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of water when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried that something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed to help him up, but when I did, he looked so different. He wore the same clothes that my grandma wore. My grandma? My grandpa wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He looked younger. So many things were rushing through my head at the moment, and yet I knew he felt familiar to me. I know it sounds bizarre the more I talk about it, but that's what happened. That was also the same night I found that letter. It was next to him, already opened. I'm sorry again for all this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. I just punched the mess out of my mic. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The pools of water, the letters, Lewis, and now this. I've been ignoring the signs for years and just blindly hoping things can get better if I try some finding solutions on my own. But that's not enough anymore. Maybe my family is really cursed. No, they're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? I think we easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In truth, the one who fixate on it make it their reality. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of these things are what they want to become real. Deep rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Huh. Personally, I think you were caught up in all of this. But I assure you, we'll see this through. For you and Mr. Mortimer. Thank you. Good. This little smile he be doing. Now, our first priority is to find out more about Lewis. Nina, the letter he showed us back at the agency. Why he got okay? Hold on. First of all, the build is a little weird for him. Like, why is he built like this? Like, why his shoulders mad low? Or maybe that's just I don't know. Nina, the letter you showed us back at the agency. Do you have it with you?
Oh, yes, it's here.
Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back.
Of course, but what are you going to do with it? I've searched everything on that letter, and I still couldn't come up with clues.
Huh. I'll be using it as a reference or guide, if you will. I'm afraid I can't discuss too much of the process. Trade secret and all.
Ah, of course.
I'll check upstairs. Noah, you and Kobe check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to do their own investigations, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. He leans in close enough for Nina to not hear. Keep a close eye on Mr. Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. I don't want her to be dragged anymore. To be dragged any more than she already is. Okay.
Still dragging her, so don't pick up the.
So whatever happens, keep her safe. Uh, Hugo, you fine, but remember, yell for me, okay? I know. Thank you, Noah. I'm counting on you. You too, boy. With a final nod at them, Hugo then goes towards the staircase and heads upstairs. Upstairs. Like what? Where did the S go? Noah stares for a moment longer at Hugo's back before he disappears into the first floor. He then turns to look at Kobe. Well, it's time we got to work. Right, Kobe? Investigation start! Objective is to look around the area for objects to proceed the story. Use the arrow keys or the arrow Use the arrows or the arrow keys to move to a different area. Outlines will appear on a clickable object. On the top right is the hint button. Click it will highlight an object you missed. Why is this like okay, so here you go in here. Mr. Mortimer still sits motionless by the corner of the room, his gaze never leaving the rain. Nothing else I can click here. Oh, yeah, let's have a look at this. A large bookshelf stands close to the entranceway. It contains a couple of photo albums and a few phone books. How many phone books do you need? An old rotary dial telephone. It looks like it's still in good use. Books. There's nothing else to look at. Can we go upstairs? Hello. There's nothing else to look at, guys. Okay, yeah, wolf to you too. I think I clicked everything. Oh, what the? I didn't even light up before. A delicate arrangement of violets and white roses. They seem to be fresh and fairly new. Frames decorating the walls are covered in white sheets, with veiled with a thin lining of dust on top of each one. Wow. There's so many paintings covering the walls. Are there more like this all over the house? Oh, he's asking her. I didn't know he was talking. I didn't know she was still there. Yes, my grandfather commissioned many back in the day. But sadly, he doesn't do that anymore. Nina, I can't help but notice the paintings are covered. How come? I did that. I covered them up for my grandfather's sake. For his sake? Yes, he was pretty obsessed with them, you see. There were times when he would mutter to himself and would just stare at the paintings for days on end. It worried me so much that I had to cover them all. Since then, he hasn't stared at any of them. He just sits quietly, looking outside. He can't just uncover them? Like what? I see. About the paintings, I also noticed they all have a similar theme. They all had water in them. I know this isn't a coincidence since you told us before, but if there's anything you know, anything at all, then please tell me. Noah, can I ask you a question first? Sure, go ahead. Do you believe in mermaids? Mermaids? I don't suppose I do. Why? Casting her gaze to the floor, Nina anxiously fidgets and tightly clasps her hands together. She then briefly sighs and continues. Well, there's a story, or rather, more like a fairy tale, that my family has passed down. A fairy tale? Yes, well, it feels like one to me. Oh my gosh, my head is tweaking. I just got lightheaded out of nowhere. It's about a fisherman who fell in love with a mermaid. Every day and night he would go out by the shore to gaze at her beauty, but one day she vanished, leaving him confused and heartbroken. Determined he would Determined he would sail many seas for a chance to see her again. Sailing from coast to coast, new lands beyond and back, he would go. Not long after, fortune followed him all throughout his journey and made him one of the wealthiest and most highly respected in his village. However, despite all the wealth he gained through his travels, he never found the mermaid again. She would only be a dream, nothing more. And that's the end of the story. It doesn't end happily, but I guess there was a lesson behind all of it. I just never understood it. What do you mean you don't understand it? You getting blessed, you getting abundance of grace and blessings, but you chasing after something like, come on. I don't know why I just got nasally. What do you think happened to the mermaid? I know it's an exaggeration, and yet I can't help but wonder. Hmm, it's hard to say. I just feel bad for both of them. Hmm? To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of sad endings. If it were me, I would wish the fisherman and the mermaid could see each other again. Or at least that's what I think. Even if they weren't meant to be with each other? Yeah, I think so, at least. I wouldn't want to imagine going through a journey all by myself. It's hard being alone. Hmm. A journey all by yourself. Mortimer Estate, 11:30 p.m. What is this little menu over here? Let's save this real quick. You know what? Matter of fact, I think we can end this here. I think we're getting like, I think that's a good place to end this. This is gonna have to be a series because I thought this was just gonna be a quick little, maybe like 2 hour recording, of the whole game, and it might actually truly be. But this is probably gonna end up being like maybe I can see it being like 5 parts with all the reading that I have to do that takes time to do instead of me just playing some kind of game where you gotta find like key objects or you gotta complete what you gotta do. Find the key, unlock something, go somewhere, go here, blah blah blah. That's a whole different thing. And I think, let me see how long I've been recording for actually. I've been recording for almost an hour. But yeah, we're just going to end this here. I want to know what you guys think of this game because I like it. For one, I love reading stuff out loud, doing voice acting and stuff like that. It's actually one of my dreams to be a voice actor one day, and I'm not really good at it right now because I don't have like any direction on how the voices should sound and stuff like that. But I'm doing my best, and I hope you guys are enjoying um the content that I'm bringing to you guys with this these voice acting, and the bad reading skills that I have because of my mouth going through what it's going through with it being like sore and swollen. But I hope you guys really enjoy this because I do like this. And I am interested in the story. So if you guys are, please leave some comments. And if you do have more visual novels and things like that that you would like to see me play, please put that in the comments as well because I do like playing visual novel games because, like I said, I like to do the voices. So if you have any more suggestions like that, please let me know. And I think that's going to be all for this video today. So I appreciate all of you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, you can leave a like if you would like. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. I don't have more videos like this one because this is the first time I'm playing a visual novel game, but I do have other videos that you might like. I appreciate everyone for coming out and watching this video, even if you didn't watch it all the way through. If you did watch it all the way through, thank you. I appreciate that so much. But I'll try to have the next part of this up within the same week. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 days I'll have it up. But I usually post on Sundays. So if you're expecting any video from me, you can guarantee it'll be one on Sunday, which is today. So I gotta hurry up and edit this video because it's 12:06 p.m. and it usually takes me a long time to edit videos. But this one won't take a lot because I just read and stuff. So it won't be that long. But it'll be a long video though, and some people may be like, "Whoa!" Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe to become a part of the community. Thank you, everyone. This has been Ulala signing off.